Melanie, I've got Dave Brody from Z100 in New York, and he is ready to go.
Hi.
Hi, Melanie Chartoff. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I miss my city.
Well, you know what? It's a nice day today. I have to say, you're missing a nice day. It's not raining yet, which is good.
Uh-huh.
But are you aware that people like me have been waiting 30 years for a DVD release of at least an episode of Fridays?
I am aware of it. Sorry. You're not the first to tell me. I've been getting emails and Facebook reaches from many, many people demanding that I put it out, and I'm so glad I didn't have to do that.
Well,
so here it comes.
Yes,
it's coming out August 6th. It'll be available for everybody on Amazon.com. I'm very pleased.
Well, we're all very pleased. I put this on my Facebook page that I was speaking with you, and I said, there's a DVD coming out of Best Of, and all of my friends who are my age, who remember the show, were, oh my God, we've been waiting for this. You got to, Amazon, I'm going. They're pre-ordering. This is a big deal to us. I was in high school when the show was on, and we memorized every sketch, from Enter the Matsoi to Battle Boy to Drugs Are Us. Take a pill! I mean, right. The ganja, reggae, the Rasta Gourmet. This was a show that had such an impact, and it only lasted, roughly 3 years. Going back to that time, what happened?
Well, as I understand it, and I was in it, not producing it, first of all, Reagan got into office, which, was kind of a surprise to us, and then we had to really cool it in terms of our liberal policies.
Yes, but the Ronnie Horror Picture Show was a classic sketch.
Wasn't that great? I know. We rehearsed. Can you imagine? We only rehearsed that 5 days. The choreography and the music was impeccable.
Amazing. Now, is that on the DVD? Is that part of the collection?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm so excited. I have it in my hand, and I haven't opened it yet, so I was praying that the Ronnie Horror Picture Show was on it. So good.
And there's a lot of other classic pieces, too, that I had forgotten about. There was Groucho Marx in Tehran. We had a wonderful musical bit there with John Rourke playing Groucho Marx. There was a classic bit called We're Whores. I don't know if you remember that, where it's like two Max Factor ladies going door to door selling their wares like ladies. There was Television, which is about how a young girl realizes there's no tooth fairy and that she's actually an actress playing a child on a television show. I mean, there were wonderful things in which we broke the fourth wall and then broke into another fourth wall. It was kind of absurdist and remarkable. I was really pleased with a lot of the material that I was part of on the show.
Well, fascinating that you say that it was because of Ronald Reagan that it sort of took a turn, that your show was so impacted by who the president was.
Well, we were incredibly satirical, and sometimes, Reagan had his foibles, and he didn't have to do much to make us laugh. Sometimes we just put what was actually going on in the news down with a laugh track, like a sitcom.
Right.
Because they were so darn charming, Nancy and Ronald. And I think for me, it was so much fun playing Nancy, and I was so convincing that her daughter, Patty, actually started hanging out with me. I became her new mother. We went out with, security guards. We'd go to the movies, and there'd be like 6 bodyguards getting up with us to go to the restroom. It was just a very interesting time.
Well, it was an incredible time. Your show broke a lot of bands, and they're all on here. There's amazing performances. You've got Devo and Tom Petty. Kiss, one of my favorite bands, is on there. I remember watching it. They did 3 songs. Andy Kaufman, the footage of Andy Kaufman, there was a very famous fight on your show where Andy Kaufman sort of broke character and got into a fight. Now, the rumor was that most of the cast did not know that was a stunt.
Well, I was in it, and we did know it was a stunt.
You did, okay.
The crew did not know, and so their reactions are very, very real. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but we knew we'd do some sort of massive improvisation, staying in character, trying to keep the show going. Well, fighting against him.
Right. Now, speaking of things that that happened for real, and I just watched this again on YouTube, which, by the way, YouTube is the great source for clips from Fridays, is the Fighting Family sketch. It's rumored to be that you lost a tooth in that sketch.
I did. But it was all in good fun. We had rehearsed with a choreographer. We had a stage fight. A ranger. We had a mattress in the stage. We had positioned everything properly, and I think in her zeal to do a good job on the live show, Mary Edith was just off her mark and actually connected. So it was very real. I survived it. I got an even better tooth. But there were a lot of mishaps in our urge to do a good job. We sacrificed a lot. And there was a lot of fire on the show, if you remember. There were blow torches. There were lots of
Oh, sure. Well, Battle Boy had something on fire every week, which, of course, was played by Michael Richards. Many people don't even realize he was on the show. You have to check out his clips. And, of course, Larry David, the two of them have gone on, of course, to Seinfeld. And a lot of you guys were on Seinfeld. Bruce Mahler was on Seinfeld. Mary Edith Burrell, you were on an episode of Seinfeld.
I was on a couple episodes.
Yes,
actually.
you are. You were George's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Mary Edith Burrell was on 2 episodes. She played a mom. She was in the non-fat yogurt episode, which is an all-time classic. And, of course, Bruce played a rabbi.
Yes, I remember.
But, of course, for me, he'll always be, one of the matzoi.
I know. I love the martial arts matzoi scenes. I thought they were really very clever.
Now, there's IMDb, which has a message board on it where people have been posting for years about, why are there no DVD? When are there episodes? Do you have an episode? We want to buy them. We'll trade them. It says here, this rarely seen show has been rerun. It's never been released on VHS or DVD until now, of course. It's said on IMDb because Larry David had a clause in his contract preventing it. Is there any truth to that?
I don't think he had a clause in his contract preventing it. I think everyone had to agree.
And he was the holdout? Was he the holdout?
Well, I think both he and Michael had such a large career going on that they didn't want or need extra exposure. They weren't. They didn't feel that their work was up to par. I tend to disagree. I thought they both were brilliant on the show. I thought Larry did some remarkable character work, which you'll see. I mean, he even played a fine Nixon in several episodes, and a terrific Howard Cosell. May he rest in peace. So I don't think it was uniquely their clause. I think we all had a clause that we all had to agree on its release.
Well, it's a shame for all of us who are fans, and I secretly, as much as I love Larry and Michael, I've sort of had a secret hatred for them, at least for not letting this come out, and I'm so glad they finally released it. I'm hoping the sales of the Best of Fridays are so high that they come out with all 52 episodes. A lot of us would probably, would buy every season. Last question for you, and then I'll let you go, and I wish I could have another hour talking to you. There was a rumor that Dick Ebersol, who was producing SNL at the time, was so moved by Friday's success that he asked a lot of you guys to join SNL. Is that true?
Yes, I was asked. I think Larry David actually was brought onto the writing staff. I'm not sure who else was asked, but I know I had nice dinners with Dick in New York, and I wasn't ready to jump onto another live show yet. I had acting chops, and I wanted to flex those, but that is true.
So, looking back, do you wish you had, or are you glad that you went on to Parker Lewis and everything else that you've done?
I think I made the right choice for myself. I enjoyed very much doing the Friday show, but it was an intense 6-day-a-week, 16-hour-day schedule. When we weren't rehearsing it, we were writing it. Very, very strenuous, and I think that we were all a bit burned out. I don't think anybody leapt into working for at least a year after that. We were all recovering. Yeah.
Well, listen, Melanie, I would talk to you for another hour. Again, I'm such a fan of Fridays. The Best of Fridays DVD, Amazon.com, as of August 6th. Go on there now and pre-order it. Don't waste a minute. This is a really big deal to a lot of fans. If you don't know the show Fridays, which of course spawned Melanie Chartoff's career, and Larry David and Michael Richards and John Rourke, who's an amazing impressionist, and it's an amazing cast of people. Please check it out. Melanie, thank you so much for a few minutes. Good luck on the DVD sales and everything else that you're doing. And
thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Well, there you go. The Best of Fridays DVD. It's 13 and a half hours long, 5 discs, available now at Amazon.com. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out. If you have seen it, then you've probably been waiting a long time like I have. Go on YouTube, search for Fridays, Melanie Chartoff, or Fridays and Michael Richards, or Fridays and Larry David, and you'll see what I'm talking about.